Let's go ahead and get started. Why don't we start on our backs today? So if you'd like, maybe you grab a prop. So maybe a blanket, or if you have a block or a pillow or anything you'd like here, but you find a way to get your spine nice and long and settled. So we'll take a few moments here and let your spine adjust to the mat. And bring your legs wherever is comfortable. You can have soles of the feet down, knees up. You can have legs out long, or maybe you bring soles of the feet together, knees out wide. Whatever feels most comfortable for the lower half of your body. And then start to kind of wiggle your spine back and forth, letting it kind of plant down into the mat. Maybe you even draw your belly button in slightly, press your low back into the mat, kind of remove that curve briefly, and then slowly let it return and settle. And then working your way up, maybe you can kind of wiggle those shoulder blades under you a little bit so that your shoulders can open a little bit. Maybe your heart opens a touch. And then bring those hands somewhere that's comfortable as well. So it can be out to the sides of your mat, palms up for a little more open and receiving. Or if you want to flip your palms down for a little more grounding. Or it might also feel nice to bring a hand to the heart and a hand to the belly, so that you can start to tune in with everything that's going in internally, feeling the breath, feeling the heartbeat. And then finally, work your way up to the head. Let the back of the head press nice and firmly into the mat so that you're really protecting that curve of your neck. You don't want to be putting any pressure on that there. From here, close your eyes down and start to settle and soften. Take a nice big breath in, fill your lungs up completely. Open your mouth, sigh it all out with some force. Do that one more time. Inhale, fill up all the way to the bottoms of your lungs. Then open your mouth, let it all go. From here, if you'd like, maybe you seal your lips, start to breathe in and out through the nose. You can constrict the back of your throat, taking Ujjayi breathing, which is really just kind of a noisy, rhythmic breath at the back of the throat, which can really work as a cue to keep bringing yourself back if you find yourself getting distracted by anything that might be going on, physically, mentally, emotionally. And then from here, see if you can start to smooth out your breath a little bit. See if you can lengthen things out. Really almost imagine like you were drawing each inhale all the way down to your belly. You might even feel your belly rise and expand a little bit. And then as you exhale, let all of that go. Let all of your muscles settle and soften. Maybe taking a scan of the body, see where you might be holding tension today. So there's a ton of places, and everybody's is different, but there's a few usual suspects. So maybe it's your hips. Maybe your hips are feeling kind of tight today. Maybe it's your jaw. Maybe you have TMJ and you tend to clench your jaw. A lot of times you don't even notice you're doing it, but as soon as you realize it, you can let things go. Maybe it's that spot between your shoulder blades. Yeah, take a few moments here and notice any sensations you might be feeling. What parts of your body are touching the earth or touching the mat? If there's any sensations going through the room, maybe a cool breeze, maybe your AC just kicked on. Yeah, just noticing any of that little bit, even if it's just like the little hairs on your forearm fluttering. And then promising yourself for this next hour that you're going to stay within these four corners of your mat. Not just physically, but mentally too. So that you're taking this time to really take care of yourself. Because a lot of times, a lot of our illnesses and a lot of, the toxicity can come from those negative thoughts or, worries and things like that. So, we're never going to get to a point where there's no worries, of course not. But taking a concerted effort to take that little bit of time out in your day to kind of release is only going to help you in the long run. So be kind to yourself as you go through this practice. You thought that you realized that you are important enough to need this hour out of your day. So appreciate that. Because it's only once we take care of ourselves that we can start to take care of the others in our lives as well. So yeah, just approach this class with a sense of appreciation for yourself today. Taking a couple more nice long breaths, kind of clearing everything out. Nice. And then from here, wherever your legs are, maybe kind of grab the outside edges, bend your knees, and hug those knees into the chest. See if you can keep your whole spine planting down on the mat though. So maybe one hand to each knee. Give yourself a nice little rock side to side. Massaging out the back of those hip bones there. And then from here, grabbing on the backs of the thighs, really contract the belly. We're going to take some rolls top to bottom. So come on up. Maybe your feet rest, maybe they don't. And then slow with control, come on back down. Inhale, coming up. Exhale, rolling down. Take a few more of these. Starting to turn on that core, kind of resisting letting gravity or momentum do the work. Yeah, build a little bit of heat. Taking maybe one more round, and then eventually coming all the way up to a seat and to an easy seated position. So legs can be out long in front of you. Legs can be crossed. You can sit on your knees if you'd like. Sometimes it does feel good to put a pillow or a blanket underneath your hips. It can help tilt your pelvis forward, find a little more length here. And then from here, let's inhale and bring those shoulders right up to your ears. Squeeze them as high as they can go. Then as you exhale, roll them back, let them come on down, drawing away from the ears. Crown of the head reaches up and nice and high. Belly gets engaged, belly button drawing in and up. Excellent. From here, let's start to bring the arms into it a little bit, turning your palms out. Inhale, reach up. Fingers may come together to touch. As you exhale, turn your palms out, press back down to the earth. Few rounds here, warming things up, building heat. Full breath in to rise, full breath out to come back down. Yeah, see if you can really tie that movement to the breath here. So as your breath slows down, so does your movement. Yeah, you don't have to move the same rate as me or anybody else you might see on screen. This is all about you. This whole hour is about you. Beautiful. Next time you inhale, let's leave those arms up nice and high. Reach those fingers up, spread them out nice and wide, and then drop the shoulders away from the ears. Drawing that belly button in and up. Nice. On your next inhale, start to turn the body towards that right knee. As you exhale, let your left hand come down in front, right hand come down behind you. Take a gentle twist. Left hand can come all the way to the right knee. You can take the gaze over that right shoulder. But think about as you inhale, lengthening up. As you exhale, squeeze the air out of the belly, turn. Nice. Next inhale, coming back through center, reach up, turning towards the left this time. Exhale, right hand down in front, left hand down behind. If you press into those fingertips, sometimes that can help you find a little length too. Excellent. Inhale, coming back through center. Exhale, begin to walk yourself forward. Point your tailbone back and down. Let your chest grow nice and heavy. You can even bring your forehead down to the mat if you'd like. From here, start to spread your hands out nice and wide. You can even bend the elbows towards cactus a little bit. Maybe you'll find yourself sinking a little bit lower, but getting a nice opening through the shoulders here. Squeeze those shoulder blades together behind you. Excellent. Slowly working yourself back up. Roll over our knees and come into a tabletop position. Take a moment to set yourself up. Spread those fingers nice and wide. Press into those knuckles. And then from here, we're going to inhale the right leg back behind us, toes on the ground. But then what we're going to do is we're going to lift those toes and cross them over. So it might actually be a little bit better if I take it this way. Inhale up, draw those toes all the way past your left foot. And then take your gaze towards that right foot. So you're getting kind of a contraction through the left side of the belly and a nice extension through the right side. Still breathing nice and smooth. And on your next inhale, bring that leg back through center, and then we'll go ahead and lift that heel up. Press it towards the back of the mat. Drop your right hip, bring it right in line with the left. Either staying here or inhaling that left arm forward. Draw that belly in, point that tailbone back. See if you can kind of remove that curve from the low back so you're not scooping out. That can put a lot of pressure on. From here, let's start to take a few kind of cat and cow motions. So as we exhale, bring elbow to knee, arch the spine like you were coming into a cat pose. You can even bring your gaze towards where your knee and elbow are meeting. Inhale, extend back out. You can lift your chin like you were in cow. Exhale, round. Start taking these at your own pace here. Super slow, like you were moving through water. Lots of control here. And yeah, if you find yourself starting to clench your jaw or hold your breath, maybe you put the left hand back down, or maybe you put the right knee back down and kind of do one limb and then the other. Excellent. Let's take one more round. Bending, extending out, lifting up, inhale. Exhale, bring everything back down to the mat. Give your hips a nice little wiggle, and evening things out before we take it to the other side. As you're ready, inhaling that left foot back behind you, toes on the ground to begin. And then lifting up, crossing over, take the gaze towards those left toes. See, now you're getting a nice stretch through the left side of the body, kind of squeezing through the right. Keep breathing here. Excellent. On your next inhale, coming back through center, uncrossing and then lifting that heel up. Press it to the back of the mat. Engage the belly here. And from here, you can tuck your chin slightly. Let the back of your neck go long. Nice long spine. Then once you're ready, inhale, right arm forward. Thumb can be facing up. You can start to bring that upper arm right in line with the ear. Reach those limbs apart, creating some space. And then from here, we'll start those movements again. Exhale, elbow to knee, round in. Inhale, extend out, look up. Nice and slow. Start to really feel all those muscles of your back turn on. Feel the left arm start to get a little workout here. And give at least a micro bend in that left elbow. So you're not locking out and you're really getting all that energy through the tricep here. Excellent. One more full round. Inhale out. Exhale, squeeze. Inhale, extend out. One more time. Reach up, lift up, look up. Exhale, bring it all back down. Take a child's pose. Hips reaching back. Forehead can come down. Fingertips reaching towards the front of your mat. Maybe you can kind of creep those fingers up a little bit. You can really kind of press those finger pads into the mat, almost like you were trying to draw the front of your mat towards you, finding a little more opening. Excellent. On your next inhale, coming back to a tabletop, rolling over your toes. And as you exhale, send those hips up, take your first downward facing dog. Yeah, take a few moments here, pedal it out, wag your hips back and forth. Bend your knees so that your belly starts to come towards your thighs. It might even feel nice to separate your feet out a little wider than hips width. You know, there's so many modifications here. You know, there's no perfect downward facing dog position. The perfect pose is whatever feels best for you right now. So take a few moments, try it out, try a different pose than you've ever tried before. Who knows what might feel nice today? Excellent. Then eventually finding some stillness. Take a big breath in. As you exhale, slowly walk those hands back to meet your feet, forward fold. From here, let's pause for a ragdoll, heel toeing those feet a little bit wider. Bend those knees, bring the belly onto the thighs. You can grab for the backs of the shins, or you can grab opposite elbows. See if you can point your tailbone up behind you. Find that length in the spine here. You can even kind of bend and straighten your knees a little bit. See how that changes things. You know, we're still warming up those hamstrings, so if you've got any tightness back there, a nice little bend and straighten might feel good. Excellent. From here, letting go of those elbows if you've got them, bringing those feet back underneath, hips width. We'll inhale, flat back, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, slight bend in the knees, sweep those arms wide, reach up high. Exhale, draw hands to heart center. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, fold down. Inhale, flat back, halfway lift. Exhale, fold, walk back out, downward facing dog. Take a moment here, movement or stillness. And it's from here, inhale, shift forward to plank. Pause here a moment. Check in with your hips. If you look down towards your toes, you should be able to see your toes. So if you're not able to see your thighs, that might mean that your booty's up a little bit too high and you want to drop it slightly. If you're not able to see your feet, maybe that means you need to lift up slightly. So check in there, press through your knuckles, dome out those shoulder blades in one nice long line. One more big breath in. Exhale with as much control as you can, slowly lower all the way down to the mat. From here, letting the tops of the feet go, squeeze those elbows in. Inhale, baby cobra, come on up. Either putting a little pressure into the hands or maybe none at all. Maybe you lift those hands. Kind of playing around with the curve of the spine here, maybe slight lifts and lowers. Tuck the chin in, let the back of the neck go long. Press the pelvis and tops of the feet to the mat. Excellent. One more big breath in. Exhale, lower. Inhale, roll over those back toes. Exhale, push up into downward facing dog. Yeah. Start moving a little more quickly now. We'll take another round of Sun A. One breath, one movement. Inhale, take your gaze towards the hands. Exhale, walk, step, hop those feet up to meet, forward fold. Inhale, flat back, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise, sweep the arms, reach high, maybe a back bend. Exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, flat back, halfway lift. Exhale, fold, plant the hands. Either step right to downward facing dog, or if you'd like to take a flow, slowly lowering on an exhale to a hover or all the way to the earth. Inhale draws you up, baby cobra, or lifting the thighs for up dog. Exhale draws you back, downward facing dog. Yeah, I mean, that's a classic flow. We'll take a few of them throughout practice, but make them your own. You know, maybe you skip them here and there. They're kind of like sprinkles on ice cream, where they're nice to have, but they're absolutely not necessary. You take what you need here. Excellent. From here, on your next inhale, send that right leg up behind you, stretch it long. Exhale, shift forward, knee to nose, hold it there. Find a spot to plant that right foot down. We'll lean into our left hand, open the right arm up to the sky. Nice twisted lunge here. Now this is more of a strengthening pose here in the hip and in the thigh. If you'd like a little bit more of a stretch, maybe you bring that left knee down. Yeah, either way, let those hips square off so that right hip is sinking, that left hip is lifting up. Stack the shoulders, stack the fingers. Maybe even start to draw that right hand back in space slightly. Excellent. Take one more big breath in. Exhale, bring right hand to the ground. Spin that back heel flat. Inhale up, warrior one. Take a moment here. See if you can bring that weight evenly to your front and back foot. So bend into that right knee. Maybe that right knee starts to come right over that right ankle. Pressing to the outside edge of that left foot. Turn your tailbone down, but lift your heart. Fingers reaching high, but shoulders coming away from ears. Excellent. From here, let's take a big breath in. As you exhale, we're going to hinge forward. Come down halfway. Reaching those fingers towards the front of your mat. Really engage the belly. Bend into that right knee. If this is a little much in the shoulders, you can bring those hands back behind you. Yeah, this brings a little bit more of the core into it. So take what you need. Breathe. On your next inhale, begin to straighten that right leg. Exhale, fold over it. Slight bend in that right knee, framing that front foot. You can bring hands to blocks, or if you've got a coffee table, shin, whatever you got. Maybe you let the back of the neck go long. Take your gaze towards that left foot. Nice. From here, on your inhale, rebend into that front knee. Come on up, warrior one. Exhale, open up, warrior two. Scoot around this way. Yeah, take a moment here. Maybe you bend and straighten that front leg a little bit. See how far you can get into it, bringing that right knee right over the right ankle. Maybe you kind of shift the shoulders back and forth until you find yourself coming right on top of those hips. Squaring your hips towards the long edge of your mat. Nice hip opener here. Excellent. From here, on an inhale, reach forward, flip your palm, reverse. Sinking into that right knee, left hand can come down the left leg, or maybe to the low back, or even all the way around to that right thigh. Reach those right fingers up and then towards the back of your mat. Beautiful. One more big breath in. Exhale, back to warrior two. Take a moment here. Let things settle. Come back to your breath. Maybe close your eyes. Reach those fingers out long and then drop your shoulders. Nice. Another big breath in. Exhale, bring your hands to your hips. Turn all 10 toes towards the long edge of your mat. From here, let's take an interlace behind us. Keeping your feet parallel towards each other. As you inhale, start to draw those knuckles down as you wrap your shoulders back. Your heart opens, your gaze may come high. And then as you exhale, bend those knees a little or maybe a whole bunch. Begin to hinge forward. Coming down as far as feels comfortable. You can let the crown of the head reach down. Knuckles can stay at the low back, or they can start to rise up or all the way in front of you. Wherever you end up, keep drawing those knuckles away from the ears. Yeah, if this is a little much in the shoulders, let it go. Bring your hands down to the ground, or maybe take a wide-legged ragdoll here. That might feel really nice. At least that micro bend in the knees. Really as much of a bend as you'd like. As long as you're not locking out, you're in good shape. Taking another big breath in. Exhale, if your hands are still lifted, bring them down to the earth. Now from here, a couple of options. We are going to set up for a twist. So bring that left hand either right to the mat in front of your, right underneath your face, or of course at a block or anything a little bit higher. Or if you'd like to take a little bit of a deeper twist, you can grab for that right ankle or the outside of that right shin. On your next inhale, let that right arm reach up towards the sky, right palm facing out towards the right. Still a little micro bend in the knees. And then from here, maybe you shift those hips forward slightly. They come more in line with the ankles. Just be mindful of the balance. Nice. Seeing if you can keep your hips squared off, squeezing through the belly a little bit more as you twist. Excellent. Taking another deep breath in. Exhale, bring that right arm down, square yourself back off. Right hand either right beneath the face or grabbing for the outside edge of that left ankle or left shin. Next inhale, left arm comes up, palm facing out to the left. If you do have that ankle, maybe you kind of tug with your right arm to help you kind of pull your torso towards that left leg. If you've got your hand planted, maybe see if you can square those hips off a little bit more, twist that left shoulder up a little higher. Breathe. Excellent. One more deep breath in. Exhale, bring both hands down. From here, turn all 10 toes forward. Walk that back foot in about halfway. Sorry, I'm kind of an awkward position here. Take a nice fold over that right leg. So all 10 toes are facing forward. So check in with that left foot. Make sure the heel's right behind those left toes. From here, we're going to plant the left hand down on the ground. You can either bring it to the shin, to the ground, a block, whatever you've got, but we're setting up for another twist. Inhale, right arm twists open, twisted pyramid. Stack the fingers, stack the shoulders, keep those hips square. Right hip draws back and down, left hip draws up and forward. Beautiful. One more big breath in. Exhale, bring that right hand down, step yourself back, take a flow, or maybe you skip it this time. Maybe you take a child's pose. Maybe you grab a sip of water. You know, maybe you have extra energy today. Maybe you want to do some push-ups. Maybe you want to just completely levitate. Up to you. You know, I'll keep saying it over and over again. This practice is about you. I'm merely here to offer you some suggestions. Once you do make your way to your downward facing dog, take another deep breath in, like you were trying to take that breath in all the way to your tailbone. Open your mouth, let it all go, soften. Beautiful. From here, let's inhale, left leg up behind us, stretch it long. Exhale, shifting forward, shoulders on top of wrist, squeeze that knee in, then plant it down. Weight goes into the right hand, open that left arm to the sky. Yeah, taking a moment, lifting through the back of that right thigh, sinking into that left thigh. If you'd like a little more of a stretch, draw that right knee all the way down to the ground. Opening up the heart, opening up the shoulders, drawing that left hand back in space. Maybe your gaze goes high. But see if you can keep that left knee stacked right on top of that left ankle. Beautiful. One more big breath in. Exhale, bring the left hand down. We'll spin that back heel flat, bending into that front knee. Inhale, come on up, warrior one. I always like to pause in my warrior poses. Take all those little fidgets that you need. Widen your stance, lengthen your stance. Maybe this time it would feel nice to take cactus arms, drawing your elbows out towards 90 degrees, drawing them back as you open your heart. Maybe you take the gaze up, squeeze the shoulders together. Excellent. From here, inhaling, draw those arms back up overhead. Exhale, begin to hinge forward. You can bring the chest right on top of that left thigh. So the more you bend into it, the more you kind of create a shelf for yourself here. Arms can be forward, arms can be behind you, whatever feels more comfortable. But let the crown of the head reach forward as that tailbone points backward, always looking for that length in the spine. You've got this. Next, inhale, straightening that front leg. Exhale, fold. Taking the gaze back towards that right foot. Slight bend in that left knee. Hands can be wherever's most comfortable. Beautiful. From here, inhale, rebend into that front knee. Slow rise all the way up, warrior one. Exhale, open up, warrior two. Another warrior pose, another opportunity to fidget, to find that right pose for you right now. Yeah, nice. Press that left knee open, let those hips grow heavy. Beautiful. Shoulders dropping. Yeah, at this point in practice, if your arms are getting a little tired, you can flip those palms, bend the elbows, hands to hips. Always modifications for you here. Take what you need. Crown of the head reaching nice and high. Beautiful. From here, inhale, shift forward, flip the palm, reverse. Maybe bend a little more deeply into that left knee as you press it open a tiny bit more. Right hand coming wherever would feel nice here. Left fingers reaching up, then towards the back of the room. Doesn't matter how far back you go, it's that lifting and lengthening sensation. Nice. Another big breath in. Exhale, warrior two. Maybe even check in front fingertips to back fingertips so that you're in one nice line. Another big breath in. Exhale, hands to hips. Toes to long edges. This time, toes out, heels in. Setting up for a little goddess pose today. Inhale, send those arms up overhead. As you exhale, bend the knees, point them and your toes towards the corners of your mat. So your knees are following your toes. Elbows come towards 90 degrees. Bring them right in line with your shoulders. Then if you'd like, start to draw them back in space, squeezing your shoulder blades together. Excellent. Maybe with each exhale, you sink a little lower. Yeah, maybe just slight lifts and lowers as you inhale and exhale. We're going to be here for a little bit. Feel those thighs start to talk to you. Great opportunity to tap back into your Ujjayi breathing. Whatever your mind is saying, whatever your thighs are saying, make your breath louder. You have got this. Beautiful. From here, if you'd like, maybe lifting one heel. Maybe sinking the hips a little lower. If your elbows are starting to drop, get them right back up there. Lowering that heel, maybe you lift the other. Excellent. Sinking, sinking, elbows lifting. Lowering that opposite heel. Maybe you go from one side to the other. Inhales and exhales, lifting and lowering. Or maybe you just cut out the middleman, lift both heels, sink down. Excellent. Now from here, we're going to pulse for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, you got it, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, fold down. You can turn your toes so your feet are back parallel again. Hang low. This time, if you'd like, maybe you creep those fingers and walk them back behind you, but keep bending those knees as you pull that chest between the thighs. Maybe you take slight rocks side to side. Maybe you can kind of walk your hands towards one side and then the other. You can even bend your knees as you move side to side, kind of bringing that into it a little bit. Yeah, make those knee bends as deep or as shallow as you'd like. See, just a couple more. Making sure that you finish on the opposite side so I don't have any uneven yogis going out into the world later. And then eventually walking both your hands to the left, turn those left toes forward, turn the right toes forward, step forward about halfway, hold on over, 2 straight legs. So it's a little bit different than the pose we did earlier where our foot was turned out to the side. This time it's almost like we're walking on train tracks with all 10 toes pointing forward. Subtle differences, but they can feel really different. So maybe you just notice some little things like that. Let the head hang heavy. Nice. From here, planting that right hand down. It can be ankle, it can be block, it can be earth. Inhale, that left arm turns up. Keep those hips square. Left palm is facing out to the left. Beautiful. Nice. One more big breath in. Exhale, bring the left hand down to meet. Step yourself back, take your flow. Once you've finished, let's all meet in a child's pose. Take your time. You know, each flow is really an opportunity to take 3 full breaths to move your entire body. So it should take a while. It should touch as many muscles as you can find. And then once you've finished, come to your child's pose. Maybe this time you bring your knees together. So you've got 2 straight shins. And let your belly start to round over your thighs. Yeah, you might start to feel your heart beat into your thighs. Start to take a few deep breaths here. And you can have your arms out long. You can have them back up in your heels. Or sometimes it feels nice to kind of stack your palms or make fists and rest your forehead down. I want you to focus on the back of your ribs, the back of your rib cage. Because, you know, our rib cage doesn't just expand in the front, it expands all the way around. So in an opportunity like this, where we're kind of constricted on our front, we can really focus on the back separating, those ribs separating as those lungs fill. Use those lungs to stretch you out. Excellent. Take another breath or 2, maybe a sip of water. And then as you're ready, we'll come on back up, downward facing dog. Excellent. From here, let's inhale, right leg up behind us. Exhale, shift forward, knee to nose, plant that right foot down. Stay lifted on your back toes this time. Inhale, up, high lunge. Yeah, we're starting to get into balancy stuff here. So take a moment. If you want to find a wall or a friend or something else to hold on to, go for it. I know sometimes if you're on carpet, it might be a little bit easier to step off your mat. Whatever you need here. From here, setting up for a twist. Exhale, draw hands to heart center, begin to hinge forward. Left elbow comes to the outside of that right knee, and you twist open. Yeah, I know sometimes we open up. See if you can keep your hands to heart center this time. See if you can actively draw those hands towards the center of the breastbone as you twist. Beautiful. Starting to put the weight into that right foot so that you come up pretty much onto those left toes. Take a big, huge inhale. As you exhale, here comes the fun part. Step that left forward to meet. Twisted chair. Yeah, check in with your knees. Check in with your hips. See if you can bring them parallel with each other as you're still twisting here. Beautiful. As you inhale, come back through center, chair pose. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise, coming all the way up. Sweep the arms, reach up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Bring the hands down, mountain pose. From here, we'll take a little more balance, setting up for tree on the right side. So see if you can spread out all 5 toes of your right foot. Find all 4 corners, big toe ball mound, pinky edge, outside and inside edge of your heel. Then begin to shift that weight to the right. Left foot, you know, maybe you barely even take any weight out of it. Maybe it stays as a kickstand today. You can bring that heel in as you turn your left knee open. Or yeah, maybe you find somewhere else you'd like to go. Shin, thigh, as long as you're avoiding the knee. And then squeeze everything towards center. Press that left foot into that right leg. Bring your hands to heart center. Squeeze them together. Find that focal point. And yeah, if you feel stable here and you want to play around, go for it. Arms can open, they can lift up. Maybe you change your focal point. Maybe you close your eyes. Maybe you stand up on tiptoes. Maybe you do something that you know is going to knock you over. And you're okay with that. It's just yoga. You're not going to be a happier person if you're, able to balance on one foot for a longer period of time. It's about that release and that relaxation of the face, of the breath. Letting stress go. Just let it go. It's cool. It's fine. You got it. Beautiful. One more big breath in. Exhale, let it go, shake it off. We'll inhale, lift up. Exhale, fold down. Inhale, flat back, halfway lift. Exhale, fold, plant your hands. I think this will be our last opportunity for a flow. No promises though. So take what you need. We'll meet in downward facing dog as you're ready. Beautiful. Take another cleansing breath here. Inhale, fill up, point that tailbone high. Open your mouth, exhale, let it go. Nice. From here, inhale, left leg up behind you, stretch it long. Exhale, shift forward, knee to nose, plant that foot down, lift it on those back toes, high lunge. Draw that right hip forward, left hip draws back as you sink nice and low. Maybe you creep those right toes back, your right heel starts to stack. Nice. I'm going to turn around here. Take a nice big breath in. Exhale, hands to heart center. Begin to hinge forward, take your twist. Yeah, this is a very balancing move. And while we are twisting, see if you can still find some length. So maybe that means drawing your heart towards the front of your mat as you're drawing those hands towards the center of the breastbone. You're twisting, but you're also lengthening. Beautiful. Starting to shift that weight forward into that left foot. Take another big breath in. Exhale, step it forward, twisted chair. Yeah, check in with those feet if you got to move them around a little bit to get them back in line. Squeak that right knee back slightly. You got it. Maybe you let those hips sink a little lower as you exhale. Nice. Next inhale, come back through chair pose, lift up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise, sweep the arms, maybe a back bend. Exhale, hands to heart center, bring them on down, mountain pose. Pause. Close the eyes. Find your feet. Find that stability. Maybe even roll the shoulders up, back and down. Spread those fingers wide like you're trying to touch the ground. Nice. From here, shifting that weight to the left. Maybe that right foot finds somewhere to go. Does not have to be the same as the other side. You might be a little more fatigued. Maybe this foot is flatter. Who knows? Turn that right knee open. Bring hands to heart center. Begin with that squeezing sensation, hand to hand, foot to wherever on that leg. Before you go into any kind of modification, make sure you've got that breath back. Make sure your face is soft, your jaw is relaxed, your tongue's coming away from the roof of your mouth. Then and only then, maybe you take a different posture. Opening up, hands down. You guys know the options. Really, they're endless. Tree pose is one of those poses that just really is at any possibility. There is no end. There is no perfect tree. Breathe. You got this. One more big inhale. Exhale, bring that right foot down, shake it off. From here, let's bring your feet out a little wider than hips width. You can point your toes out slightly. We'll inhale, reach the arms up overhead. As we exhale, we're coming into a malasana squat. So our knees will be pointing out, our hips will be sinking down, and you can bring a block underneath you, or you can even bring your back to the wall, or you can go over to the edge of a couch if you'd like. Yeah, take a few moments here, press those elbows to the inside of the knees so that you can let your heart open up and draw forward as those hips continue to sink down. Yeah, nice hip opener here. Excellent. Yeah. So you're here for a couple of moments. Those hips will really start talking. Your glutes sinking closer and closer to the earth, but keep lifting through the heart. One more big breath in. Here's the fun part. Exhale, just plop on down. Let's bring those legs out long in front of us. Bring them out wide today. Turn your knees up towards the sky. Maybe bend them a little bit. You can even bring something underneath those knees to help keep you bent. Flex those toes towards your nose here. Sit up nice and tall. You might want to wiggle back and forth. Find those sit bones grounding. Find the rest of yourself lifting up, crown of the head nice and high. From here, inhale, arms up, turn towards the right. Exhale, fold over that right leg. As you do, keep pressing down through that left sit bone. We want to keep both of those hips square on the ground here. Still looking for length in the spine. You know, we've done tons of hamstring stuff today, so if you want to bend that knee a little bit more and draw your nose out past your toes, you're going to get a nice stretch in the back as opposed to the hamstring. Of course, if you're dying for more hamstrings, yeah, straighten that leg back out. Let your chest start to hang nice and heavy. Using gravity, using the weight of your body to help stretch you out here. And slowly crawling your way back up. Square yourself back up. Sit up nice and tall. Inhale, arms up. Twist towards the left. Exhale, come on down. Yeah, you know, we've kind of gotten through the cardio piece. We've gotten our body all warmed up. And once you're warmed up, you're a lot more pliable. So that's why we get into the stretching portion of our practice. You might be able to go a teeny bit further than you could before. Yeah, it's all about noticing how, you know, you've built a little more heat. You can go a little bit farther, but you also might be more fatigued. So it's kind of that balance there. Always just noticing sensations. How are you feeling? Inhaling, coming back through center, lift up. Exhale, let's fold forward, begin to walk forward. But keep those knees pointing up. Maybe even the toes start to roll open and back slightly. You can come down to forearms or as far out as feels comfortable. But see if you can keep reaching forward with your heart here. So you're not just completely trying to get your nose down to the ground. You're still looking for that length there. Excellent. And walking your way back up. Let's bring those legs together. Let's take one more forward fold. Bend those knees a little or a whole bunch. Sitting up tall. Inhale, reach. Exhale, fold that belly onto the thighs. You bend your knees enough and you're able to bring your hands to the bottoms of your feet. Maybe you do, and then point your toes. That'll help stretch out between the shoulder blades. Yeah, finding that length in the low back, pointing that tailbone down. And gently walking your way back up. Let's come all the way down onto our spines. Knees up, soles of the feet down. Let's take a few rounds of bridge pose today. So walk those heels in close to your glutes. Make sure they're hips width apart, not the fleshy part of your hips, but the actual hip bones here. Let those fingers reach down towards the heels. Back of the head pressing into the mat. Protect that neck again. From here, on an inhale, begin by tilting your pelvis up. Then once it starts to rise, maybe you press into your feet a little bit more. Let those hips come up high. Hips are coming back towards your ribs. Ribs are coming back towards your chin, but your back of your head is pressed firmly into the mat so you still have that space to breathe. From here, if you'd like, you can wiggle your shoulder blades together underneath you. You can even clasp hands if that would feel good. Yeah, if you'd actually like something restorative, always the option, grab a block or a pillow or even fists, and you can kind of stick those underneath your sacrum, like right where your hips are meeting your spine. Turn this restorative. Take one more big breath in, press up. Exhale, slowly lower down. Maybe take a windshield wiper just to reset the spine here. I'll take one more round. So yeah, if you'd like something restorative this time, go for it. If I have anyone out there jonesing for a full wheel, that's always an option too. Make this your own. But otherwise, on an inhale, turn that pelvis up again, press it out, wiggle those shoulder blades together underneath if it feels all right. Pressing evenly through both feet, hips high, back of the head pressing. This time, if you'd like, maybe you start to lift one heel up towards the sky. Still pressing. Nice. You have a foot lifted, lowering it, switching sides. Nice. Maybe lowering that foot down, maybe coming high onto tiptoes for the last few breaths. And one more big breath in, press high. Exhale, lower slow all the way down. Take Supta Baddha Konasana. Soles of the feet together, knees out wide, hand to the heart, hand to the belly. Reset the spine, press that low back into the mat. Maybe you can take a little bit of like a wave top to bottom here. So slowly, starting with your sacrum, press it into the mat. And then individually, see if you can press each vertebrae into the mat as you roll all the way up to between the shoulder blades. And then slowly let it roll back down. So yeah, remove the curve of your spine, let it come back. Let it all press in here. Feel your heartbeat. Everything's starting to come back down now. Let that breath come long again. Soften your face. Yeah. From here, bringing hands to the outside of your thighs, slowly draw them back together. And from here, we'll take an inversion. So that can be as simple as sticking your legs up, right up in the air. You don't have to be straight. Just anywhere where you're getting those feet higher than your hips, letting things kind of come back down to your core. You can even do this supported on the wall, bringing your hips over the wall, letting your heels rest on the wall. Of course, if you are in the mood for something more active, you can start by lifting those hips off the ground, placing them into your hands. But if you do this, make sure that that weight is in your shoulders and in your upper arms and not in your neck here. Always want to protect that neck. And if you can reach those toes up to the sky. Yeah, make sure the back of the head's firmly in the mat. I know, especially when we're zooming, you want to turn head side to side. Be easy on the neck here, nice and gentle. Sometimes it feels nice to kind of point and flex the feet a little. You can even open and close. Yeah, anything to kind of let everything come back to the core. You can close the eyes. If you are in shoulder stand and would like to take plow, gently lowering those toes to the earth overhead. That's an option. Your hands can stay supporting the hips, or you can let the arms come long. Excellent. If you are in plow, slowly making your way back to shoulder stand. You're in shoulder stand. See if you can lower your back one vertebrae at a time. Anyone who has their legs up, maybe you keep them extended as you slowly lower them inch by inch, all the way back down. Excellent. From here, let's reach those fingers up towards the sky. Exhale them to the ground overhead. Take a fingertip to toe stretch. Sometimes I even like to wiggle my hips back and forth, pressing one towards the front of the mat and then the other. Take a nice big breath in. As you exhale, walk hands and feet over to the right. So you kind of look like you're making a crescent moon shape here. You're getting a nice stretch to the left side of the body, but keep both shoulder blades wrapping into the ground. So we're not rolling onto our right side. We're just kind of stretching and curving. If you'd like, you can grab a hold of that left wrist with your right hand and gently extend, or you can even cross that left ankle over the right ankle. Excellent. Next inhale, coming back through center, releasing any binds you might have. Exhale, take it left. Maybe this time you cross ankle, grab wrist. Maybe you don't. Keep that right shoulder blade wrapping down to the ground. Breathe into the right side of the ribs, right side of the belly. Excellent. Next inhale, come back through center. One more time, fingertip to toe, stretch it out. Grow 2, 3, 4 inches all the way off your mat. Last big breath in. Exhale, Shavasana. Whatever you need here. If you have any of those props still hanging out nearby, maybe you grab one, make yourself incredibly comfortable. If you've got some extra clothes, a sweatshirt or anything. Sometimes it even feels nice to, take a blanket or a pillow and put it over your eyes, kind of remove that bit of distraction. Yeah, take a couple of breaths and just let your body settle back into the mat. And take notice of how you're feeling now and how you felt when you started today. A lot of times the most difficult part about yoga is actually getting to class, actually getting to your mat. So yeah, you guys did that and more. Even if you stayed on your mat and were taking smooth breaths the entire time and didn't move a muscle otherwise, that's perfect. You did what you needed to do today. So take these last few minutes, really appreciate yourself and everything you've just done. Now, absolutely no rush to come back. Take as long as you'd like. If you are ready to bring some movement back, you can wiggle fingers and toes. Start to roll your wrists and ankles. Maybe bend your knees, draw them into the chest. Give yourself a nice little hug. Gently roll onto one side, curling up in a little ball. Maybe using your arm as a pillow. And over the course of the next couple of breaths, gently making your way back up to an easy seat with your eyes closed and your hands to heart center. Thank you all so much for joining me today, sharing your practice. I'm very grateful to each and every one of you. I hope you have a fantastic week. Namaste. Thanks, guys.
Thank you for another
Thank
great
you.
class.
Thank you. We'll see you next time. Enjoy.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank
Thank
you.
you. Thank you.
I'm coming, but I'll probably be back now.
Sounds good.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Kelly.
Bye.